Howdy everyone, I'm Sam Pfeifle. I'm the editor of the SPAR Point Group. And this week, the week of August 13th, I want to talk a little bit about the Kinect. Now I know what you guys are saying. You're like, the Kinect is just a toy. Yeah, that's great if you're only looking for about 6 inches of tolerance for accuracy. Yeah, that's fun to play with. But us people out in the real world, we need something a little bit more sophisticated than the Kinect. But I want to make sure that you guys are paying attention to what went on at Siggraph in Vancouver this week. At Siggraph, a very interesting presentation from Microsoft researchers at Cambridge showed how they could do real-time 3D modeling just with the Kinect and some, fancy software. But this is really impressive stuff. I want you to take a look at this video just for a second. I'm not sure if you can see what's going on there, but basically, in real time, they're panning through the room, and while they are doing that, they're throwing imaginary globs of stuff onto the objects in that room that have not been scanned ahead of time, and the imaginary glob is bouncing off in real time, right? They've got the geometry captured as they are scanning through the room. This is very interesting stuff, and the researchers say that they can get to millimeter accuracy with what they're doing. So why do you care about this? Well, this whole indoor scanning thing could be a lot easier if you didn't have to model it afterwards, right? That's the problem. You go through, you scan, you get this big giant point cloud, then someone's got to go through and do all the geometry and do all the modeling in order to go from point A to a point where the client actually wants it. What if you can model as you are walking through, and when you walk out the back door, you've got a working model that you can actually use and they can actually import into their GIS system, or they can actually use to make decisions with, they can actually use for asset management, all kinds of great things. Wouldn't that be terrific? Obviously, the thing that they've got to solve right now is a geo-referencing. Right now, what this is doing is just creating a pretty picture. Somebody's got to strap some further hardware, further software onto this thing, so that not only do you walk out the back door with an accurate model, but you walk out the door with an accurate model that actually exists in real space. This is something that's very interesting, and it's probably something that they can solve pretty quickly. And they're also doing some other cool stuff with Kinect out at Siggraph. I encourage you to look at the links that are going to be on the same page as this video blog. But for instance, they're doing real-time 3D facial capture, which is really interesting for the video game developing community. Maybe not so much for you architects and engineers out there, but still something to pay attention to. So, is the Kinect just a toy? Well, right now, it kind of still is just a toy. But don't be surprised if this very same technology doesn't wind up in your bag of tricks in the next couple of years. So, until next time, I'm Sam Pfeifle. I'm editor of SPAR Point Group, and thanks for watching.